It's good practice to have your unit tests set up as soon as possible. Some choose to write tests before writing their implementation, but either way, not letting your lack of tests become technical debt is the important thing. The first thing we're going to do is add a new dependency on Google Truth. This is an assertion library from Google that makes asserting values in your tests nice and readable in code, as well as providing easily understood failure messages. We can get the current version and artifact from the truth.dev page. As we did with Dagger dependencies, let's add this to our top-level build.gradle file, first defining the version, then the value in our deps array. Now open the build.gradle file for the repository module and add this new dependency as a test implementation dependency. Make sure to sync, and then we're ready to write a test. Open the test directory in the repository module and delete the auto-generated example unit test file. We'll create a new file called AppRepository test. This will have a latent property for AppRepository, and we'll initialize it in the setup function annotated with AppBefore. We need a GitHub API to pass to the AppRepository. There's a few ways you can do this. Mockito is a very popular mocking library that's used. I've started to try to go the direction of using fakes because you have more control over those. Let's just go ahead and create our own fake GitHub API implementation instead of using a mocking library like Mockito. Create a private class in this file called fake GitHub API and have it implement GitHub API. We want to return an actual model in the list we return here, and we already have a fake one set up in our mock GitHub API. So we'll open the GitHub API file and copy the repo API model that we used in the mock implementation. Place that model in a property in our test file, and now we can have the fake GitHub API return a list of that single fake repo. Now we can finish initializing the app repository in our setup method and get on with writing a test. We'll create a test that tests the successful response, which is the only type of response we have hooked up in the repository right now. In the test, we'll call getTopRepos and assign that to a val. And we'll assert that the size is 1. And then we'll also assert that the single item in that list is equal to our fake model. This test seems trivial right now, and it is, but having it in place will mean we have a lower barrier to updating it as our repository evolves. I find that most unit tests end up seeming very simple, but their benefit will serve you in the future as your app grows and changes through refactors.